Hey everybody, Hubert here with an important recording. If you've been wondering how to increase your topical authority and get your maximum SEO value out of the blog section of your website, you have to watch this recording that I did with Andrew Dale on one of my recent masterminds. He goes step by step and coaches how a graphic artist, the keyword being graphic artist, in their location would use their blog to create the topical authority that makes Google rank the blog post well. Check this out.
So this is, I shared this in the chat. This is for topical authority. This is going to give you 300 things to write about, okay? By the time you're all said and done. Now, if you're a smaller local business and you're just trying to rank for like, nutritionist in your local town or whatever else, you don't really need to go as heavy as this, but you still want to do this. But you might not need to go 30 semantic keywords. You might be able to do 10, and just scale it down just a hair. But I'm assuming that everybody here has ChatGPT, right? Now, I played around with ChatGPT. I love ChatGPT. Don't get me wrong. I also have a subscription to Claude 3, Claude 3 Opus, which I think actually writes much better content than ChatGPT. But ChatGPT does other things better than Claude 3 Opus does. So I'm looking at it for like $40 a month, right? I got like the two killer teams on my. Could you imagine, right? Imagine having somebody that can do as much as ChatGPT and another AI content writing tool for $40, right? Like, there's no way that if
Right.
you're for an extra $20, it was so worth it for me to check it out, and it turned out to be absolutely awesome. So let me explain to you how I do this, right? So I go to we'll actually do it. Give me an example. Somebody can give me an example of what business they're in.
Okay, would
Let's do
somebody in the chat drop their niche in business, please? Okay, so Bridget is saying graphic design.
Okay, so hold on one second. That's a great one. Okay, so all we're going to do is we're going to copy this. We're going to go into ChatGPT. Sorry, I'm just moving things out of my way because it's all the Zoom stuff.
So this is the expertise that's required to have the right prompts, because I see in the prompt, if you look carefully, it says semantically relevant but unique topics. Like, unless you're Andrew and no SEO inside and out, you wouldn't even know to make that part of your prompt.
Okay, so I just asked ChatGPT to give me 30 semantically relevant but unique topics, just as you said. And this is what it kicks out, right? And Bridget, let me ask you a question. Are all of these relatively topically relevant to you?
She said yes even before you finished your sentence.
Yeah, okay. So now what we do is we're going to take this, we're going to open up the spreadsheet, we're going to just pop them right into the spreadsheet, right like this, okay? Now, these are all of my 30 keywords. Great. Okay, let's take the first one, logo design. Now, was it Bridget that said that she has a blog that's collecting dust? Was that Bridget that said that?
No, that was somebody else.
That was somebody else.
Oh, she says yes, so maybe she does too.
Okay, so Bridget, listen, you're no longer going to be collecting dust. Okay, it's no longer going to be collecting dust. Now we're just going to go to the next prompt. Okay, I'm going to copy that. I'm going to pop it in here. Give me 10 different keyword variations of semantically relevant keywords you produce that address different search intent. Okay, so let me just go back here real fast. Okay, so what we're going to do is we are going to, for logo design. I'm going to take these. I'm going to put these into my spreadsheet here. And guess what, Bridget? Oh, no, that did not happen to me.
What happened? What happened?
I tried to copy it and I tried to paste it into it and the cells. Okay, there we go. So this is your first list of each blog post that you're going to be doing. You're going to be doing 10 different blog posts. You're going to be doing one for best logo design services. The next is going to be affordable logo design. The next is going to be custom logo designers near me. Next is logo design inspiration, how to design a logo, top logo designer trends 2024. You can read the list, right? And this is all going to go under the category in your blog of logo design. So all of those,
Wow.
right? And what we're going to do is let's just go back to ChatGPT real fast. So best logo design services, right? Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to pop this into ChatGPT, but I'm not going to hit anything yet. All right, what I'm going to do is I am going to go to, and we were talking about those header tags, right?
Mm-hmm.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to do a Google search for best logo design, best logo design services, right? I'm going to find who's sitting in the #1 spot, which is, well, okay, so this guy right here, best logo makers. I can go right here. I'm going to click on it. I'm going to use another plugin, which is which guy right here? It is SEO Meta in one click. That's the Chrome extension.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to click on it. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to headers. And you see how they have all of their H1s and H2s and everything else all laid out here? And it's sort of a mess how they did it, but you know, whatever, I'm going to take it. I'm going to go back to ChatGPT. I'm going to take that out and I'm going to put all of those H tags in there. So now Google has some, now ChatGPT has a reference. This is the stuff that's ranking right now as it is. Okay.
Mm-hmm. This is solid gold, Andrew. Solid gold.
Right.
I just want to recognize we've been in for an hour. This is where normally we stop the meetings. Andrew, if you're good to keep going, we can keep going. But just wanted to acknowledge that some people do have to drop off. A replay will be made available. So thank you everybody for your attention. Please contact support at partnerattractionformula.com if you want to be put through to Andrew. Alex S is asking, Andrew, is that plugin SEO Meta?
It's SEO Meta one click.
SEO Meta one click.
In one click, yep.
In one click, yep.
Okay, so now it's generating an article, but what I don't like about the article is that it's referencing, you're the graphic designer, and this one is now referencing other graphic design companies out there, okay? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna just stop this, and we gotta tell ChatGPT, hey, listen, you know what? We like this, but we need to tweak this. This is great. But, and I always like to kind of like give ChatGPT a little bit of positive reinforcement. Great, but I am a graphic designer. I do not want to recommend anyone.
This is great, Andrew. Thanks for pointing out the fact that blogging is such an easy way to kind of get that topical authority. And I just happen to know that so many of our members in the mastermind don't yet have an active blog going. And so this is a whole new approach to using the blog to boost their SEO. This is invaluable. So thank you.
Okay. Now what you can do, write me the outline first. Okay, and this way we can make sure that, we're just going to get the outline right here. And they're going to put you right in here, Bridget. See this?
Wow. So right now, these are not the actual articles. This is an outline for the articles, right?
Correct.
And then you'll no doubt ask AI to write the actual articles then.
Yep.
Cool.
Remove the references to the 12 best logo designs. Now, using the best SEO tactics, make an article, write it in. Remember how we were worried about the H2s, the H3s, all of that
Right.
stuff?
Yeah.
You know what? Don't worry about it. Guess what? We're going to let ChatGPT write it for us.
Oh, so all you have to do is say, write it in HTML, and then it
Write it
generates
in
all the...
HTML. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy everything from my H2 down. The H1 is going to be my title. This up here is if you were going to just keep it all in an HTML written document or whatever else. If you're using WordPress, you don't want to do that. Just grab it from where, right under where, right after the H1 tags end. You can go right here and you can just grab this all and you can literally go right into WordPress.
Yeah.
When you get into the back of WordPress, rather than it has two little tabs on the top right corner of where your box is. One says visual, one says text. Click on text, pop this in there. As soon as you pasted it in there, go back to visual and you'll be able to see it all. Read through the whole thing and make little changes as need be.
Nice.
So for instance, you can tell my fingers by the end of the day is like, there you go. I'm all over the place typing. So I'll give you an example of you would go right to posts, you would do add a new post. So that H1 tag, if we went back here, we would take that H1 tag. Whoa, where did it go? Okay. We would take this H1 tag, we would just copy it right here.
By the way, Andrew, I see that you need to hit the continue generating button to get the rest of the HTML right there.
Yeah, we'll do that. We'll do that. And then we put that right in there. Okay. And then the next part.
And that works, folks, because we happen to know it's set up so that the blog post title is the H1 of the page.
Right. And then we'll continue, but just to show you, you just click over here where it says visual and where it says text. Pop all of that in there and then go back to visual and you can actually see that it formats it all exactly the way that it needs to be.
With the proper header, H1s
proper
and
header,
twos.
H1 tags, everything.
That's awesome.
So now I can go through and I don't suggest for you just to go ahead and click and say, hey, you know what, we're good to go. Read through the whole thing, make any tweaks. And you should be putting in a new category, and that new category should be logo design. And each one of these articles that you write should be about logo design. Then you're going to do the same exact thing for brand identity. And you're going to have 10 of them right here. And when you do 10 times the 30 of them that you have here, you're going to have about 300 articles, and you are going to be the topical authority guru. The
Wow.
one very important thing is, as you read through the article, you're going to want to, if you have another article that you've already written stuff about, let's say about choosing the right tools, let's say you have a blog post about that, you're going to just want to link to that page internally. So that what happens is all those pages are getting interlinked and Google's looking at it and understanding the reference. That's the reason why Wikipedia ranks so well. That's the reason why all those wikis would rank so well, because they were always linking to other content so you can read more about that particular subject. So,
Right.
guys,
So Federico is asking, first off, he said, this is incredible, so much value. Thank you, Andrew. And he said, where do those articles go? Where do you publish them? So this is all in the blog section. And we're talking about the 30 different articles. They're blog posts, and they link to each other through the WordPress blog system, and
That's
they link to
exactly.
the pages, and Andrew links keywords back and forth. And then also we drop external links as well. Federico's just clarifying within my own page. Yes. So each of these blog posts, each of these articles is a blog post, and they'll link to the blog landing page as well as other blog posts. If you, in the example that we were showing when we were showing the blog, we have it set up so that the sidebar has little previews of all the other blog posts. So everything is linking back and forth.
This is so powerful, guys. And I am telling you that it would be very difficult if you had to hire content writers to write 300 articles. You don't need to do all of this in one day, and you don't want to, because one of the big reasons why you want to have a blog and an active blog is that how Google sets its resources, because everybody thinks that Google has like unlimited resources, and they don't. They have a finite amount of resources. So what happens is Google will visit your website, okay? It will see the content on your website and say, okay, I finally found this website for the first time. It will set its crawlers to come back, let's say 30 days later, and say, hey, let's see if there's anything new. If there's nothing new, Google's going to say, okay, well, maybe I can extend that out to 60 days because they kind of put out all their content and I don't see anything new. If there's something new, Google might say, okay, you know what? I'm going to cut that number from 30 days down to 15 days. Okay. Then the next time it comes there, oh my gosh, 15 days later, there's new content here. I'm going to cut that in half again. I'm going to come every week. It comes the next week. Wow, there's new stuff there. I can do every 3 days. I can tell, to the point that there are some websites like Reddit and everything else. They have Google crawlers on there constantly because there's constant content being created on those websites. So what you want to do is, I like to say, listen, if you have AI, if you can knock out, right? And this is a lot to ask, right? But if you can knock out logo in 1 week, right? All 10 of these blog posts in 1 week, right? That's a lot. That's a lot. But that's also, this is 30 weeks of content, right?
Yep.
Like, and to be honest with you, my attitude is I want to get it done as quickly as possible because I want to become the authority expert as quickly as possible. I don't have to wait 30 weeks, right? And then for Google to find everything and everything else. So the faster you can get it done, the better you are. Just to give you a quick idea, this is, I'm looking for.
So Bridget is saying no need to drip the content then. Cool. Although I would say this.
You don't want to pop out 40 of them at the same time.
Right. Put out a set, and then that way that'll keep Google busy, and then start dripping out the rest so that every time the crawler comes back, it sees that it's been changed since the last visit.
Absolutely. Now, I just wanted to show you this just as a side.
Victory the Dominator is asking, how do we insert the HTML code into the Wix blog? So when you go to edit it in Wix, there is, you'll have to search for it, but there is a little, in the interface, there's a little thing that represents code. It's usually like bracket or something like that. And when you click on that, it lets you pop in HTML code. I know it's possible because I've done it in Wix. So Pat is asking, and Bridget is asking. Pat's asking, within the blog post, should there be photos, calls to action? And then Bridget is asking, should we ever include video inside the blog post? Is there any value in doing that?
Yes, 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 and yes, right? So Google loves to see every different type of media that you can produce. It loves to see images and it loves to see unique images. So don't take images from other websites, not because it's like, oh, it's duplicate or whatever. Google wants to see something unique. So go outside, take a picture of something that you have. When you're doing something, go out and take pictures constantly and have those pictures like almost as a backup, right? Then what you're going to want to do is if you can create a video, that's awesome. And what you do is put it up on YouTube and get the transcript of that video and make a whole other blog post using the transcript of that video,
Yep.
right? Like it's absolutely amazing the amount of stuff that you can produce.
Yep,
And
that's
video,
great.
Google loves video. Google loves video. I'm just taking the same thing and I'm putting it into Claude.
Awesome. It's nice to see a demonstration of Claude 3, so thank you for that. Bridget, thank you for helping Victory out. Victory, here's a link on how to paste HTML code into Wix, and there's a Perplexity link right there. Bridget, I don't know if you've been using Perplexity or not. I have not, but I've heard a lot of good things about it.
So do you see how like Claude just seems to go a lot deeper into things?
Yeah.
Um,
I just want you to see this, Andrew. Pat, thank you. Andrew and Hubert learned so much today. Thank you.
so I'll leave you guys with this. I put this in the chat. This thing. You don't need to take the prompts exactly the way that it says here. And like I said, you're going to want to. They want to purchase. Should change this because they don't want to just purchase pins.
Right.
Just whatever
I
your
dropped the link again in the chat. Again, if you want to contact Andrew, send us an email at support@partnerattractionformula.com. Also, check out designyourpins.com. I think Andrew put together a special offer. Anybody that knows us will give them what was it, 10% more pins, Andrew?
Yep, 10% more pins of any of whatever they order.
Yep, that's awesome. And then there's the link to the Topical Authority document.
So like I said, guys, this just runs, and what I do is I'll write like 2 articles a day through AI.
Wow.
I'll take a little bit of time. I'll read through them all, just make sure that they're good to go, and I'll post them. And honestly, guys, that's it. I mean,
Andrew, this is back in the day. This is how we built these authority sites that would outrank everybody. The issue was that you spent so much money on hiring people to produce the content that you couldn't do it, beyond your budget. And still, at the end of the day, you were paying not only an outrageous amount of money, but spending so much time getting it done. The tools now that you've shown us are just simply incredible. So thank you.
no problem. Guys, I love talking about this stuff. I could talk all day long. My wife gets tired of this, so she, my wife is like, listen, if you could find somebody else to talk to about this, that would be great. So like I said, I love talking about this stuff. Anybody who has any questions or whatever else, I'd be more than happy to, we'd be more than happy to help you address them. Like I said, Hubert threw out the email address. Reach out. I'll be more than happy to help you with whatever you guys need.
Awesome. Okay, so stop your share and we'll say goodbye. And thank you everybody for your attention. This has truly been awesome. Andrew, I know you promised Ask You Anything. We've just hit the tip of the iceberg. So if you can pledge to us to come back, we would greatly appreciate that.
Absolutely, anytime you want. Anytime
Okay,
you want. And now that you guys kind of have a gist of like whether we want to go over Google business profiles or you want to go over your website, because they're kind of, even though they both come together, they're both kind of 2 different strategies, right? Like your website, you can rank for a lot of different things that your Google business profile necessarily won't, but they both work in tandem with one another.
And
right?
again, if you're a pizza shop, you probably favor Google Business Profile, and if you're an IT consultant, you'd probably want your website to rank better.
Exactly. And that's exactly it. So there's 2 different angles. So like I said, whatever anybody wants to cover, you just let me know. I'm always available.
That's awesome.
For you guys, I'm always available.
I love the spirit in the chat. Thank you, everybody. Get a load of this, Andrew. This is from the "If you don't ask, you don't get" department. Victory the Dominator says, "Can you come back tomorrow, same time?" So that's awesome. And again, the aptly named Victory the Dominator. So thank you so much. Okay, everybody, thank you so much. Andrew, kudos to you. You're awesome. Thank you, everybody, for the chat.